Welcome to One Book, One Review.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm a day late again, but it's just solely to the fact that I just know that this video will not live up to the book in any way. But let's give it a try anyway. Today I want to tell you about The End of Mr. Y by Scarlett Thomas. And let me tell you, this is one good example why you should buy books for the cover. I wouldn't have bought the book just looking at the back because it doesn't give you any information and it doesn't sound that interesting and gripping as the book turns out to be. And so just looking at this cover, the black pages, I just wanted to have it. And I'm just so glad I read it because it is an amazing read. And that brings me to the next problem I have. I don't want to give away too much of the story, which is what they didn't want to do as well. So I can only tell you that we have a main character, Ariel, and she's in her early 30s and she wants to write her PhD. The book starts with how she came to write her PhD and what it's about. It's about Thomas E. Loomis, an author who wrote about thought experiments. So her PhD is going to be about thought experiments. That's the basic information I want to give you. And this Thomas E. Loomis, he wrote another book, a book that's called The End of Mr. Y. And this book is cursed. There's only one known copy in a bank vault in Germany somewhere, and everybody who's read the book dies. So this is the outset of the story, and this is all I'm going to give to you. I'm sorry about that, but just trust me, everything else will just spoil it. So let's look at the book a little bit closer. Ariel Manto finds this book, The End of Mr. Y, and despite its being cursed, she's like, I'm going to read it anyway. So early on in the book, she finds the book and then she reads it. But not only she reads it, we get to read it too. In chapter 3, we get the beginning of the book. And that's what I like about this. This book has a book inside another book. But we don't get the whole book. We get some parts of the book and then we get back to Ariel and her thoughts and then she summarizes part of the book. And we get to know what happens in the book. I'm going to tell you. So, and this is all very intriguing, and I really like that, this book in book thing. So the writing of The End of Mr. Y is awesome. Just take it from me. The writing is amazing. You're never bored by the book in the book thing. You're never bored by the story. In the beginning, you're just glued to the pages. It's very big, around about 500 pages, but the beginning just keeps you turning pages. So more about Ariel, as I cannot tell you more about the story. Ariel is a strange person. Her background comes up again and again over the book, and you get to learn more about her childhood and her upbringing and her life in general. And it's not a good life. It's had a lot of hardships, and it helps to explain who she is now and to understand why she is like she is. So I thought that was very interesting and very well done, that we don't get it in the beginning of the book and then we have to live with it, but we get snippets throughout the book and learn more about her character. That's what I liked about it. And she had some really gruesome things going on in her past and in her present. So yeah, it might be a little bit disturbing there sometimes. On the other hand, she's a very smart and interested person. After college, she started to work for a newspaper and she wrote a column or something, and she could choose what she wanted to write about. So she started with the Big Bang Theory, and then she took it from there. Whatever interested her, she started researching. So she has a wide variety of insight in philosophy and science and physics and all these different topics. And that's another thing I really like about this book. The variety of topics. It talks about science, it talks about philosophy. There are a lot of philosophers mentioned, there are a lot of science theories mentioned. Sometimes it's very difficult to understand. I won't say any different thing. It's just that it's hard to follow the ideas because they're so high and complicated. And but it's, on the other hand, it's very interesting because it challenges you to think about things. There is this one dinner party where they start to talk about God and science and like religious versus science, and then they end up talking about quantum physics and all these things and reality, and it's just amazing where the discussions in the book go. I really like that about the book. Or at another scene where she argues with this other character that she doesn't want to sleep with him, and they turn out to have really high philosophical discussion why she shouldn't sleep with him and he shouldn't want to sleep with her, even though she wants to, but she thinks it's wrong. And all these things are very interesting and well done. So this is what attracts me to the book, all the scientific and philosophical discussions and everything revolving around reality and who we are and why we're here and where we are. And all this is very amazing. The only thing that I have to say for the book is that at the end it slows down. It's kind of a letdown, the ending. It's not as amazing as I would have expected. After being glued to the pages for 300 and round about 50 pages, the last 150 pages are, yeah, it's just a drop in the attraction, in the story, in everything that's going on. It is a good ending. It fits the book. It's not bad, but it's just, you were like this before, and then you're like, oh, okay. So the ending is something I say, yeah, kind of a letdown of the book. Everything else was such a great surprise, and I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what I would get. And it's just an amazing book. It's well written. It picks up so many ideas. It goes into so many. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. I can really recommend this book to, yeah, I think more mature readers, because it's long and very detailed and a lot of theories at some point. And there are some disturbing topics in there as well, but yeah, looking at 50 Shades of Grey, I guess there are no more secrets anywhere in reading, so just go ahead and don't worry about that. But the philosophical and the scientific arguments and strains of thought, they're rather complicated. So I wouldn't recommend this book to younger readers, but more to, yeah, more mature readers or educated readers. That sounds mean. Yeah. Okay. I just don't know what else to say, and I'm pretty sure I have not given this book enough credit and probably didn't make it sound like a good read. I'm sorry about that. But check it out and let me know what you thought of it. And if you've read it, let me know your experience of the book and try not to spoil anything in the comments. Thank you very much for watching and have a very nice weekend. Bye bye.